couple issues that have come up on this panel I want to talk to Mr. Parker about. And Alan, my understanding is you've taught laws. You've taught at the
That's
law
right.
level, haven't you?
School of Law, University of St. Mary's in San Antonio.
Okay, so I'm going to address two discrete issues with you, and there may be some overspray, but let's talk about the constitutional concerns. I know this has been addressed during the day, but folks are kind of in and out. So you're familiar with the Texas Constitution, what it says, with the great responsibility that we have, the people of Texas acting through the legislature to provide a system of free public schools, and what the Constitution says, what the law says. Address the constitutional concern that by giving these funds in a different way, we would be violating the Texas Constitution. To give us your legal opinion, if you can, on that.
Thank you very much, Senator. It's an honor to do so. The federal Constitution has been addressed today. Zellman v. Harris says this bill would absolutely be constitutional under the United States Constitution. It's not an establishment of religion because you're not forcing anyone to go to a school they don't want to go to. It's a voluntary free exercise of parents if they choose to go to a religious school. With regard to the Texas Constitution, I actually represented low-income families from El Paso and San Antonio in 1995 in the fourth round of the school finance litigation, and in Edgewood 4 in 1995, in response to pleadings that we filed in the case, the Texas Supreme Court actually opened the door to all forms of school choice, at least those that would be constitutional under the United States Constitution and the Texas Constitution. And what they said was, even though the Texas legislature currently chooses to provide education through a state agency and school districts, there is nothing in the Texas Constitution that requires them to do so. As long as there is a general diffusion of knowledge, the legislature may choose any means that it desires to deliver that general diffusion of knowledge. So this bill is for all 5.5 million children. It's a general diffusion of knowledge. And in fact, that then opened the door for charter schools, which haven't been mentioned, but which are not government schools run by government employees. They are private entities that receive private money. They're considered public schools under the school code of Texas, but that does not mean they're run by the government. They're run by private nonprofit entities. So again, that's another example of the legislative freedom that you have to choose whatever means you decide is the best way to deliver that general diffusion of knowledge, to get those scores up from 54% failure or 68% failure in the African American community. 68% failure is a general diffusion of a lack of knowledge. Excuse me. But I've watched this for 25 years. We have all these programs like No Child Left Behind. In 12 years, we were going to leave no child behind. Every child would be proficient. We had a mandate from the state, and we passed laws saying we were going to outlaw this failure. And we passed millions of dollars, new money into the system, and 12 years. So the school could start with clean kids, and they had them for 12 years, no problems, we'll fix it in 12 years. And what happened at the end of 12 years? There was so much massive failure that we had to get a waiver from the federal government to even test the children because it revealed so much massive failure. 68% failure in the African American community, 61% in the Hispanic community, 54% in the white community. That's all over the failure mark.